Welcome back to another nice relaxed episode of the Extinction Survival Guide. So if you recall, on the last episode we were being chased all over the place by this crazed, angry beaver that has been just trying to chew us in half. And we finally got her trapped inside this makeshift dino taming pen that we put together. It's the best we could do at level 14. And barely escaped with our life as we've pelted her over and over again with, I don't know, 50, 100 rocks. We went through 2 slingshots just trying to knock her unconscious, and finally knocked this little sucker out. It took a lot, but we finally got him down, and there we go. So also, while we've been trying to tame this guy, we had a Dimorphodon just fly down right in front of us, and I thought, hey, I want a Dimorphodon, why not? So, we're gonna try to tame both of them at the same time, and both of them are struggling like crazy and trying to wake up really fast as we are trying to keep our narcotic supply high enough to keep them unconscious. So, this is gonna be an interesting episode for sure. So, here we are, right where we left off at the last episode. And we had just run back up there and started another batch of narcotics with all the narco berries we've been gathering. And we're pretty much just non-stop grabbing narco berries, making narcotics, and running right back and feeding them to the beaver. We've got plenty of mejo berries in here, but this thing is, taking some time to tame, but it is trying like crazy to wake up. I mean, it is just not staying down for very long. So, we've got that going, and we've just been gathering as much as we possibly can as quickly as possible. So, it's going pretty well so far, but, this is interesting. So, it's a female Dimorphodon, and it's only level 5, and I actually really wanted one of these things. So, what the hey, let's see if we can knock her unconscious too. May as well. I got the bolas and the slingshot. Scratch that, I got the bolas. Broke another slingshot, man. But let's get some meat on her and see if we can just keep her taming up here. I mean, a level 5 should theoretically be pretty easy to tame. I said that about the beaver too, though, and that thing is just crazy hard to keep unconscious. Usually level 5s don't put up this much of a fight, but these are kind of higher tier dinosaurs. This beaver is not something I normally even mess with until I'm like in the levels 30-ish, something like that. You can't even make it saddle until you're level 60, so if we can actually pull this off and tame this beaver, it's going to be amazing. So the torpidity on this Dimorphodon is dropping really fast, so is the beaver, so I hate to use up the narcotics, and I really don't want to lose the tame on this beaver, but if it only takes a couple, I'm willing to risk it for this Dimorphodon, because they are actually pretty cool. The torpidity is going down fast, though. Not as fast as the beaver, though. That thing is just crazy hard to keep unconscious. So, the Dimorphodon is gaining taming very fast, though. So, I mean, it's only eaten like one thing of meat, and it's already up to like 25% tame. So, I think I will try to do that. We should be able to make it if we can keep it unconscious for just a little while. It shouldn't take too long to tame. So, yeah, I'm going to keep trying to feed this guy here. And he is doing pretty okay. We're just going to fast forward a lot this episode because this took like, I don't know, a very long time. It took pretty much my entire lunch break to try to tame this beaver. And, it's a long process anytime you want to tame a high-level dinosaur, even if it's like level 4. But a beaver is a much more advanced dino, and, well, hey, this is taming up pretty well. I may not have to give it another narcotic. That's great. So I'm grabbing a bunch of these cattails because I noticed while I was gathering these that oh, here we go. Well, that worked out great. Now we don't have to worry about her depleting our narcotic supply, which is great. So Dimorphodons are pretty cool. They're like a little parrot that sits on your shoulder and bites people's fingers off, just like a real parrot, but without the crackers and the talking. So you can actually throw them off of your shoulder and tell them to attack other animals, and they'll actually do that. They'll do some pretty good damage when you throw them at things, and they just ride on your shoulder when you're not sending them out. So it's a kind of cool little dino. I'm probably going to hang on to that for a while. So I am continuing to gather as fast as I can, run back up and back down to get narcotics, and we're just crafting them up in the base. Check this guy out. I guess he didn't get the memo that fish can't live outside of the water, and he was like, hey man, I gotta live my dream and get out of the water. And that's what happens. So, if you're a fish, stay in the water, dude. Nothing you can do about that. Alright, so we skipped forward quite a bit, and I'm still just slowly taming up this beaver. It's taking a really long time. I'm not going to make you sit here for like an hour-long video. Nobody wants to do that. I hardly wanted to do that. But, just happened to notice this spider had respawned back in the background. Once again, we are in the swamp. It's not as dangerous as most swamps, it seems, but, you know, there's still a lot of dangerous stuff that'll pop up back here. So I'm trying to be real vigilant and, you know, checking every now and then to see if anything dangerous is coming around. And turned out it was a good thing I did. So anytime you're taming stuff, always keep an eye out for dinos and just, you know, go all over the place to make sure nothing's attacking you. But we've had to focus pretty hard on gathering bushes too. So got a lot of bushes up here, thank goodness, and we'll just keep gathering everything. It's a really good thing everything's so close by because we were going to run out of narcotics a long time ago. I probably should have had at least like 50 of them before I even tried this tame. And normally you need like higher tier dinosaurs like a trike or something to gather a lot of narco berries. Hey, an otter! I love those things. No time for you though right now. We already did a double tame, so I'm going to speed this on up, and we have been taming up for most of my lunch break. I'm almost out of time, but we're really close to taming. Oh, actually, it looks like the tame finished. So if you're far enough away from a dino, you don't get the little notification, you just show up and there it is, which I actually very much prefer because then you don't have something like when we tamed the dodo and a little box popped up, do you want to name your dodo? And we almost got killed by a little stupid compy, so... Well, check it out. Somehow we pulled it off. We managed to tame up a beaver at level 14. We are level 14 right now. That is actually quite an accomplishment. But that is going to really help things. Beavers are amazing at gathering wood, as they should be. I mean, they're beavers, right? But this thing is going to get me, I don't know, like 5 or 10 times as much wood as I can gather with my normal tools. So we should be in great shape for building with wood as soon as we can get that guy harvesting. Now, I want to get him back up to my base as quickly as possible just to make sure I can get him safe, and then before we go on an actual expedition to get some wood, I'm going to scout out a little bit with my parasaur, because the parasaur is pretty expendable. You saw how easy that was to tame. A beaver, as you can see, is incredibly hard to tame. I had to split this into 2 episodes, even though we were fast forward and skipping all kinds of stuff, So one little problem we have right now is I've had my little drawbridge set up to where it's kind of like a maze, and you could only successfully get a dinosaur over it if you're riding it, because you have to direct it around corners, which was great for keeping us safe and keeping any AI dinosaurs from chasing us. By the way, that sound was the Dimorphodon. I dropped him off in the hut, so nothing would attack us. We're going to deal with him later. But right now, we need to get this beaver to follow us. We cannot make a saddle for the beaver until we're like level 60 something. So it's going to take a while. And we're just going to have it manually following us up until that point. So at this point, this will be a little bit difficult, kind of maneuvering around our drawbridge here. But, you know, that's at least going to pay off, you know, when we get our beaver back up here. We should be able to unlock the large wooden gateway pretty soon, and that'll be big enough to have a gate that we can actually open and close and get our dinosaurs through. So as soon as we can get that, we'll be in great shape, and I think we can stay alive long enough to do that. I don't think it'll take more than another episode or 2 before we can get to that point and be able to make a nice big wooden gateway to block off any dinosaurs from attacking us. So I'm going to run back down to my beaver, and we now have a path where it can actually safely follow us up into the base. I left it in its little, taming pen because even though it won't offer much protection, at least it's got some wood between it and any danger. So hopefully it'll be okay at this point, but I don't want to leave it alone for long. And everything looks good so far. I'm going to refill my water here. We are always running out of water still, but at least we have a nice ladder that can get us up and down to our water supply. So there we go. Now I'm going to set the follow distance to probably lowest possible because I need this beaver following right behind me in order to navigate across that narrow bridge. So let's go ahead and demolish this wooden door frame. Now I wasted a lot of wood making these wood foundations and walls, but door frames waste less wood than an actual wall, and it was enough to keep him, busy long enough to tame him and knock him out, which took a really long time. Now, I found out later I could have actually used bolas to, immobilize it for a few extra seconds, but it would not have been enough, and we would have never tamed this thing if we didn't make that taming pen. So I'm keeping an eye out for wild dinos, but I've been up and down this stretch a couple of times because I've needed to grab berries and when I came down from the bridge, so we shouldn't have any dinos to worry about. What I am a little bit worried about is these rocks that are broken over here are pretty hard to get up and down. Now a parasaur is reasonably tall, so it can walk over these stones without too much trouble, but this beaver may have a lot more trouble getting up over this ledge. So I'm going to see here. Looks like he is stuck. Bummer. Okay. Now I wanted this to be deliberately as difficult as possible for wild dinosaurs to cross up until this point, but now that we have a tame that does not have a saddle, and we're not going to get a saddle for this beaver until I think 61, I mean it's going to be a long time, but we can still use it effectively without a saddle, which is great. But there we go. Okay. So now I know there's just enough of a slope right there, and maybe if I can get it running, perfect. So apparently if it's running full speed, it can actually just go across that little gap. So there we go. We just tamed a really high, normally very high level tame at level 14, and he's already got a level up coming, so that's great. We are going to level up so much faster after this. Pinky, get out of the way. Okay, I know you want attention, but it's not always about you, okay? So check out this Dimorphodon. We managed to tame this at the same time as that beaver, which is crazy. And Dimorphodons, I haven't had a ton of success with them, but they are really helpful if you can get them to a high enough level. So yeah, we made it. Let's get a family shot with all of my important dinosaurs. Pinky the Dodo is not that important, really. But, so in the next episode, I'm going to show you why having a beaver is so amazing at this point in the game, and we will just really be building our base fast with this thing collecting wood for us. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon. Thanks so much for watching this video from the Ark Survival Guide. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can bring you more great guides like this one. Ark is an amazing game, but there is so much to learn before you can really enjoy it. We are dedicated to bringing you high-quality guides, tutorials, and Let's Play videos that are fun, helpful, clean, and suitable for the entire family. There's a tutorial in this series for everything we have done so far in this video. Check out these playlists for more episodes from this series and other guides to help you enjoy your journey on Ark.